terminating the spirit of Uzziah. The name Uzziah means the strength of God. Uzziah was not an enemy to Isaiah, so don't get it wrong. Uzziah was a representative of pride. Please, I want you to know something. I'm speaking to you, speaking to me, speaking to us. There is nobody who has gone up that can come down. Don't trust in your wealth. What is in your life that you depend on? A life without restriction will suffer destruction. There are things you must not do. Even if you can do, there are things that come to our head, but for the sake of covenant, we can't let it come out of our mouth. When you become useless, you make yourself inconsequential. There are businesses a Christian should not be involved in, based on scripture. The exit of Uzziah tells us, don't over celebrate your present level. Appreciate God for it, but there is something more. The biggest enemy of your next level is your previous achievement. Many of you don't know who you are. That is why your current level is like a big deal to you. There are some people that they will only learn from their failure. Let him fail. Do you think anybody could have spoken to the prodigal son? If you still have somebody committed to counseling you, God loves you. I beg God every time, may I never be too big for counsel. When grace leave you, men will leave you. But can I say this to you? Message has been passed. I don't really like people who want to advise me. They're looking at me as Apostle Suleman. You want to advise me? See me as somebody you are happy. Remove Apostle Suleman to one side. We are in a generation where success has relative, failure is an orphan. Don't think some people can't leave you. Just pray that God should not leave you. When God leaves, you will know there's nothing like best friend. When Uzziah died, the first thing you see God for who he is. Your revelation of God is known in your reference for God. You know, Satan knows how to sponsor rebellion so you can go in further. There are things you don't say to a pastor. We work with covenant, and spirituality has no respect for ignorance. In this kingdom, we don't condemn people because we have issues with them. All the good things the person has done, you forget immediately. What kind of generation is this? Generation with short memory, with amnesia. We forget the good of people because of one thing that's happening now. The only thing you do in a place where you know they don't like your father is when you get there, you remind them who your father is. When you see God for who he is, you desire to spend time with him. You become a replica of what you spend time with. Redemption does not automatically mean prosperity. So stop thinking because Christ paid the price for your redemption, not for your wealth. Constant reminder of where God picked you from keeps you humble. Never be proud. If you mess up, God has a backup. The person God brings to take your place is always better than you. God is aware of your limitations, yet he found you. Please be grateful. Never be self-reliant. There is no self-made man. There are only God-made men. Constant gratitude is a proof of genuine appreciation. Anything you are enjoying today, thank God for it. Stop telling people how you qualified for it. If you want to give God glory, don't touch it. Give him. Anyone who corrupts your mind over your covering is a plague that should be avoided. Bad influence is worse than cancer. There are people that should not be around you. No one who genuinely loves you will speak against what covers you. Can I say this to you? You can't control yourself around certain people. Leave them. When God is showing you that the church is marching on without you, it means that reproach is on its way to you. God will allow wrong people hang around you for some time to see your content. Don't be influenced, be the influence. People don't do what you expect, people do what you allow. There are statements people will say to you because they know you allowed it. You that is silent over the act of God, and those that are loud over the works of Satan, you both are the same thing. Wickedness continues because it's permitted. That so long you get trapped by your environment, you can't be lifted beyond them. Terminating the spirit of Uzziah. The name Uzziah means the strength of God. Uzziah was not an enemy to Isaiah, so don't get it wrong. Uzziah was a representative of pride. Please, I want you to know something. I'm speaking to you, speaking to me, speaking to us. There is nobody who has gone up that can come down. Don't trust in your wealth. What is in your life that you depend on? A life without restriction will suffer destruction. There are things you must not do. Even if you can do, there are things that come to our head, but for the sake of covenant, we can't let it come out of our mouth. When you become useless, you make yourself inconsequential. There are businesses a Christian should not be involved in, based on scripture. The exit of Uzziah tells us, don't over celebrate your present level. appreciate God for it, but there is something more. The biggest enemy of your next level is your previous achievement. Many of you don't know who you are. That is why your current level is like a big deal to you. There are some people that they will only learn from their failure. Let him fail. Do you think anybody could have spoken to the prodigal son? If you still have somebody committed to counseling you, God loves you. I beg God every time, may I never be too big for counsel. When grace leave you, men will leave you. But can I say this to you? Message has been passed. I don't really like people who want to advise me. They're looking at me as Apostle Suleman. You want to advise me? See me as somebody you are happy. Remove Apostle Suleman to one side. We are in a generation where success as relative, failure is an orphan. Don't think some people can't leave you. Just pray that God should not leave you. When God leaves, you will know there's nothing like best friend. When Uzziah died, the first thing you see God for who he is. Your revelation of God is known in your reference for God. You know, Satan knows how to sponsor rebellion so you can go in further. There are things you don't say to a pastor. We work with covenant, and spirituality has no respect for ignorance. In this kingdom, we don't condemn people because we have issues with them. All the good things the person has done, you forget immediately. What kind of generation is this? Generation with short memory, with amnesia. We forget the good of people because of one thing that's happening now. The only thing you do in a place where you know they don't like your father is when you get there, you remind them who your father is. When you see God for who he is, you desire to spend time with him. You become a replica of what you spend time with. Redemption does not automatically mean prosperity. So stop thinking because Christ paid the price for your redemption, not for your wealth. Constant reminder of where God picked you from keeps you humble. Never be proud. If you mess up, God has a backup. The person God brings to take your place is always better than you. God is aware of your limitations, yet he found you. Please be grateful. Never be self-reliant. There is no self-made man. There are only God-made men. Constant gratitude is a proof of genuine appreciation. Anything you are enjoying today, thank God for it. Stop telling people how you qualified for it. If you want to give God glory, don't touch it. Give him. Anyone who corrupts your mind over your covering is a plague that should be avoided. Bad influence is worse than cancer. There are people that should not be around you. No one who genuinely loves you will speak against what covers you. Can I say this to you? You can't control yourself around certain people. Leave them. When God is showing you that the church is marching on without you, it means that reproach is on its way to you. God will allow wrong people hang around you for some time to see your content. Don't be influenced, be the influence. People don't do what you expect, people do what you allow. There are statements people will say to you because they know you allowed it. You that is silent over the act of God, and those that are loud over the works of Satan, you both are the same thing. Wickedness continues because it's permitted. That so long you get trapped by your environment, you can't be lifted beyond them.